Hey guys, I'm Manoj. Welcome to the third chapter from the course C Sharp and .NET for Beginners. We are going to discuss about very important concepts, namespaces and classes. Before we start, I would highly recommend you to like and subscribe the channel in case you have not done that yet so that you get notified as soon as a new video is posted. Okay, let's get started. In the last chapter, we created a new console app and saw that program.cs file had a single line of code to print the hello world. This statement was not inside any class or any method, and that's why this kind of statements are called as top level statements. If you already know some programming languages like C or C++ or Java, you already must know that all the execution of the program starts with a method called as main, and that's why you may also have an obvious question: where is main method here? How the code execution is beginning? Also, this code may give a wrong impression that C# code is like a script, and that's why C# code doesn't require main method like some other scripts. But this assumption is not correct. Let's see why this assumption is wrong. If you set language version to C# 8, the console app comes with the default code as shown here. The code contains some keywords that we have not covered yet in our course. But in short, this code tells compiler that a new class with name program is created within the namespace hello world. This class has the main method. The main method uses a console class from the system namespace. The main method calls a writeLine method from the console class to print the text. Okay, this is nice, but it contains some ceremonial code like declaring namespace, declaring a new class, and declaring the main method. So C# 9 introduced a new feature called as top level statements. With C# 9, you can avoid having a main method. You are still required to specify the using statements at the top, and after that you could directly write your code. With latest .NET 6 and C# 10, one more feature is introduced, and its name is implicit usings. You do not even need to specify a using statement and still your code would work. How is this whole thing working now without main method? The feature implicit usings is just helping you to save some keystrokes. Although using statements are not present in our C# file, they are available in compiled code. The using statements are getting auto-generated during the compilation. Later in this course, we will see how they are auto-generated. Okay, similarly, the compiler also generates an implicit main method to serve as program entry point for the project with top level statement. When you run the program, runtime finds this auto-generated implicit main method and invokes it, and that's how the whole thing works. Bottom line, ultimately, the compiled code contains namespaces and the main method. And that's the reason I think this is the right time to get ourselves introduced to the concept of namespaces. To understand the concept of namespaces further, I will create a new console application project. I will delete all the code inside program.cs file, and then I will add another version of the same code with namespace and main method. Okay, this is ready now. In object-oriented programming languages, class is used to model real-world objects. And like main method here, a class can contain few methods to process few things. For example, there may be a file class which contains method to read and write the files from file system. And the console class that we are using in this example contains methods to write text to the console. In fact, the .NET provides many libraries which contain ready-to-use code for performing operations like making HTTP call or reading file or making calls to databases, etc. All these libraries contain huge number of classes. The namespaces provides a way to attach a contextual meaning to these classes. For example, there is a namespace system.io that contains all the classes related to input and output operations. Another namespace system.data.sql client contains all the classes which can be used for accessing data from SQL Server. You can think of a namespace as a virtual organizer. It helps you to organize your types into different compartments. Those compartments are logical. When you define any interface or class or struct, it would be part of a namespace. For example, here in this project, we can write a new class inside the current namespace. Let's say it has two methods, add and subtract. Currently, those methods just print the method name, and that's how the code will look like. Okay, Next point, a namespace can be nested inside other namespace. Such a nested namespaces are delimited by the dot character. There are two ways to nest a namespace. First way is to define the child namespace inside another namespace. For example, in this project, we can declare a new namespace math inside the namespace C#.tutorial and move the class calculator inside it. The calculator class is now part of C#.tutorial.math namespace, and fully qualified name for the calculator class is C#.tutorial.math.calculator. Second way for nesting namespace is directly defining the namespace with the full name. That way, the nested namespaces can also exist in different C# files. For example, I will now create a new namespace with the name C#.tutorial.posts, which contains a class with name post_service, and the class has two methods, add and update. The fully qualified name for this class is C#.tutorial.posts.postService. Namespaces also help in avoiding class name collisions. Now, what is a name collision? Let's take an example of files and directories. Let's say there is a folder and it contains a file with the name file.txt. You cannot create another file with the same name. It is simply not allowed by the operating system. This is called as name collision. This is how the name collision is avoided on the file system. Two files cannot have same paths. Namespaces serve similar purpose. A namespace cannot contain two classes with the same name. That's a rule. That's like a resolution to the name collision issue. So let's go back to Visual Studio now and let's try to create a class with same name as calculator in the namespace C#.tutorial.math. This red squiggly line is telling that there is an error. If I hover over this line, it tells me that the namespace already contains class with the same name. So a namespace cannot contain two classes with the same name, and that's how the name collision is avoided. Okay, we discussed enough about namespaces. Now the next question, why do we need using statements? So every type which is declared in a namespace has a fully qualified name. Namespace name dot type name. So the fully qualified name for console is system.console. As I explained earlier, implicit using feature is auto-generating the using statements, and it is by default enabled when we create a .NET 6 project. So let's disable implicit using feature on our project. To do that, right click on the project and then select properties option from the menu, then search for implicit and then uncheck this checkbox and then hit on save. Now let's come back to our program.cs file. Let's remove the using statement at the top and try to build the solution. Well, even before building the solution, we got errors. The errors are saying that the console class is not present in the current context. It is not identified. Technically, we can use its fully qualified name every time we use this class. So I can just go ahead and I can type fully qualified name system.console every time we need to call write line method. But typing the namespace again and again is really time consuming. That's why we need a using statement at the top of the file. The using statement is a directive for the compiler. This directive is used to tell the compiler where it can look for the classes. You can specify a statement using system at the top, and then you can use any type which is declared inside that namespace without having to specify fully qualified name. The point to note here is if you want to use types from any other namespace, you just need to add a using statement at the top. You can type it manually, or alternatively, you can just right click on the class name and then Visual Studio provides you an option to add a using statement at the top of the file. For example, now when I right click on the console, there is an option to add using statement at the top. If I click it, using statement will be added. Now, next question. How should we decide what should be the namespace for our code? Generally, your namespace should begin with company name followed by application name. Let's say our company name is Contoso and we are creating an application with name CRM. The namespace for our code base may start with contoso.crm. You can also add any other token if you want. For example, you can add module name and layer name after the application name to distinguish the classes logically by module as well as by application layers. As long as it is logically organizing the code, it is fine. Now let's come back to Visual Studio. Every project has a default namespace setting in the CSproj file. Whenever you add a new class in your project, that class picks the namespace name from this setting. You can always change either the setting from CSproj file. On the other hand, if you want your class not to be part of the default namespace, then you can just change the namespace declaration in the new C# code file that you created. Also, generally, many solutions prefer to have default namespace for a project to be same as project name. For example, if your project name is contoso.crm.dataaccess, then the default namespace for that project would be contoso.crm.dataaccess. Sometimes the other option is people just drop company name and application name from the project name, but the default name still contains it. For example, the project name might be data access, but the default namespace for the project would be contoso.crm.dataaccess. For your information, all the namespaces that begin with system are for the code that is provided as a part of .NET itself. Microsoft also releases some packages which are not part of .NET framework. They are like an extension to the .NET framework. For example, Microsoft releases a package for Entity Framework Core, which is used to access the data from database, and the namespace for the code inside that package is Microsoft.Entity Framework Core. I hope the concept of namespace is clear now. Thank you for watching this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Your likes and subscribes will motivate me to bring the next chapter sooner. If you have any feedback or suggestion, or if you want me to cover any specific area, please comment on this video. Alright guys, see you in the next chapter. Namaste.